Type plays a vital role in logo creation. It can really make or break a good design.
This video is brought to you by EpiPies Academy.
It can even be a whole design itself, so it is essential to truly understand how to work with type. In this section, you will learn how to effectively create and handle type, so let's get cracking. As we saw in one of the first videos, type has its whole menu section here at the top. So I guess it means it's pretty important, huh? Well, it is indeed. Let's see what we got here. Well, first of all, we can see all the typefaces we got at our disposal. You can set the size of the font, or here where it says glyphs. We can check all the character variations that are available to a specific typeset. But as you can see, some of the options here are grayed out. It means we can use them only when type is created in a specific way, and we will learn about those in a few minutes. For starters, let's learn the basic way of creating type. Let's go to the Type tool in the Tools panel right here. As you can see, it's a flyout menu, so if I click and hold down the mouse button, I'll get access to all the available type creation options, such as Type, Area Type Tool, Type on a Path, etc. I gotta tell you that in logo design process, the most frequently used tools are the Type tool, obviously, and Type on a Path tool, so we will focus on them, but we'll also take a quick look at handling type in paragraphs. Okay, the easiest way to create text is to simply click anywhere on the artboard, of course with the Type tool active. By the way, if you're still craving for some more shortcuts, you can initialize the Type tool by pressing the T key on the keyboard. Okay, I'll click somewhere here, and notice that as soon as I do that, the control panel changes to give us different tools and options. Apart from standard fill, stroke, align, etc., we also get character and paragraph. There are actually links to character and paragraph full-blown tools. Let me show you what I mean. Let's type something here first. I'll do some self-marketing and type designing logos, learning Illustrator, just like so. Now let's click this character link in the control panel. What we get is the character tool. That is the same as the tool we could get by going to its full version from Window, Type, Character. So as you can see, the control panel again comes really handy. So I'll use it again and quickly review some options we got here. First of all, we can choose the typeface. If I click this triangle, I'll get the whole list of all the fonts available to me. Below, we can set the font style from the style set the typeface offers. This whole section under the typeface options lets you take total control of your text. You can of course change the size of the text here, but the real fun begins with these three guys right here, and they are leading, kerning, and tracking. These are really technical, fancy names of space between lines of text, which is leading, space between pairs of letters, which is kerning, and space between sets of characters, which is tracking. I know it's a lot to take in, but don't panic. It's all actually pretty easy to understand if you give it and yourself some time. Okay, first leading. If I start changing this value right here, I'll make the lines of text further apart or closer together. So the bigger the number here, the further apart the lines of text get. So that's pretty straightforward, right? Now kerning. As we already know, kerner is the space between pairs of letters. If you take a closer look at some typefaces, especially the poorly crafted ones, you will see that very often the space between some pairs of letters are too small or too big. Well, kerning is supposed to take care of this. But if I try to change some values here, you can see that Illustrator gives us an error message and tells me to use tracking instead. But that's not really what I want. But not to worry, of course we can fix that. The font is Oswald, and it's a great typeface, one of the most popular Google fonts nowadays. But even with such a great typeface, we can see some problems here. For example, did you notice that the space between the letters G and N in the word designing is smaller than the space between the N and the I, well, that's not good. That's not good at all. So to fix that, I'm going to position my cursor right between the letters G and N in the word designing. And now when I go to tracking, you can see that I am adjusting the space between those two letters. Alternatively, I can hold down the Alt key and press the left or right arrow to decrease or increase the space between letters to fix kerning. Pretty neat, huh? So again, Alt plus right or left arrow to decrease or increase the space between the letters. Okay, so this is kerning. Now tracking. Tracking also changes the space between letters, but works globally, so to speak. I mean, it controls the whole words or paragraphs, depending on what you select. To increase or decrease tracking, we could, from our control panel, in the character tool, enter a desired value here. Or, which is a bit quicker, we could select the text and simply use the combination of Alt plus right or left arrow. So as an example, I'll select the word designing and press Alt plus right arrow a few times. As you can see, we are making the spaces between letters bigger. And if I use Alt plus left arrow, I'll decrease the space between the letters. And this, my friend, is tracking. So definitely play with Latin, kerning, and tracking for the perfect type design. In the next video, I'll show you a few other tricks that you'll find really useful and handy in logo design process, so don't go away.